A shadow falls, Hitler's place in history. Adolf Hitler, the name alone evokes a visceral reaction. It is a name that has become synonymous with evil, tyranny, and genocide. The mere mention of Hitler conjures images of war, destruction, and the Holocaust. His impact on history is profound and deeply disturbing. His reign, marked by unparalleled brutality and devastation, stands as a stark warning against the dangers of unchecked ideology. The world witnessed the horrors of his regime, from the invasion of Poland to the concentration camps where millions perished. The scale of the atrocities committed under his rule is almost unimaginable. Born in a small Austrian town in 1889, Hitler rose from humble beginnings to become the dictator of Nazi Germany. His early life was marked by struggle and failure, but his oratory skills and propaganda prowess allowed him to manipulate and rally a nation behind his twisted vision. His ideology, a toxic mix of nationalism, anti-Semitism, and a lust for power, plunged the world into the deadliest conflict in human history. The fervor with which he delivered his speeches and the fanaticism he inspired in his followers led to a war that engulfed the globe and resulted in unprecedented loss of life. Hitler's legacy is complex and deeply unsettling. While some may study his tactics and strategies, it is crucial to remember the human cost of his actions. The scars left by his regime are still felt today, and the lessons learned from that dark period in history remain relevant. His actions led to the deaths of millions and left an indelible scar on the world's psyche. The Holocaust, in particular, stands as a testament to the depths of human cruelty and the dangers of unchecked hatred. The images of mass graves and the stories of survivors serve as a haunting reminder of what can happen when humanity loses its way. Understanding his life, his rise to power, and the horrors he unleashed is crucial. By studying this dark chapter in history, we can better understand the mechanisms of tyranny and the importance of vigilance in preserving democracy and human rights. It is a sobering reminder of the fragility of civilization. It serves as a reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of combating hatred and intolerance in all its forms. The world must remain vigilant against the forces of division and hatred, ensuring that the lessons of the past are never forgotten. Only through unity and understanding can we hope to build a future free from the shadows of tyranny. The Seeds of Fury, Early Life and Influences. Adolf Hitler's early life was marked by instability and resentment. Born in Braunau am Inn, Austria, on April 20, 1889, he was the fourth of 6 children. His father, Alois, was a strict and authoritarian customs official. Hitler's relationship with his father was strained, marked by frequent clashes. Hitler's childhood was also impacted by the loss of 3 siblings. These early experiences likely contributed to his introverted nature and the development of his worldview. He developed a deep-seated hatred for the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which he viewed as weak and decadent. This resentment would later fuel his ambition to create a unified and powerful German state. A promise of power, the rise of the Nazi Party. Hitler's entry into politics began after his disillusioning experience in World War I. The war had left Germany in ruins, both physically and emotionally. Soldiers returned home to a country that was struggling to find its identity amidst the chaos. The Treaty of Versailles had imposed harsh penalties on Germany, leading to widespread economic hardship and a sense of national humiliation. He had served as a dispatch runner, witnessing firsthand the horrors of trench warfare. The brutal conditions of the trenches, the constant threat of death, and the sight of countless comrades falling in battle left an indelible mark on him. These experiences fueled his anger and resentment, shaping his worldview and his future ambitions. The defeat of Germany in 1918 left him bitter and resentful. He felt betrayed by the politicians who had signed the armistice, believing they had stabbed Germany in the back. This stab-in-the-back myth became a central theme in his rhetoric, as he sought to rally others who felt similarly betrayed. He blamed the Weimar Republic, Germany's new democratic government, for the country's humiliation. The Weimar Republic was seen as weak and ineffective, unable to address the economic and social issues plaguing the nation. This created a fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root, as people searched for someone to blame and a way to restore Germany's former glory. In 1919, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, a small right-wing group that shared his nationalist and anti-Semitic views. The party was initially insignificant, but Hitler's oratory skills and his ability to connect with the disillusioned masses quickly brought it to prominence. He saw the potential to use this platform to further his own ambitions. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming the party's leader in 1921. His leadership was marked by a combination of charisma and ruthlessness. He was able to inspire loyalty and fear in equal measure, consolidating his power within the party and setting the stage for its transformation. He renamed it the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party, and transformed it into a mass movement. Under his leadership, the party adopted a platform that combined intense nationalism with a promise to restore Germany's greatness. This message resonated with many Germans who were desperate for change and a sense of purpose. Hitler's charismatic speaking style and his ability to tap into the anxieties of a nation still reeling from defeat made him a powerful force in German politics. His speeches were filled with promises of a brighter future, a return to national pride, and the elimination of those he deemed responsible for Germany's woes. This combination of hope and hatred proved to be a potent mix, propelling the Nazi Party from obscurity to the forefront of German political life. The shadow consumes Europe, the outbreak of war. Hitler's rise to power culminated in his appointment as Chancellor of Germany in 1933. He quickly consolidated his grip on the country, dismantling democratic institutions and establishing a totalitarian state. The Nazi Party's ideology, rooted in racial purity and German supremacy, became the guiding principle of the regime. Driven by his ambition to expand German territory and create a greater German Reich, Hitler embarked on a series of aggressive foreign policy moves. He remilitarized the Rhineland, annexed Austria, and dismembered Czechoslovakia. These actions, met with appeasement from other European powers, emboldened Hitler. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, marking the beginning of World War II. Section 5. A Continent in Chains, the Brutality of Occupation. World War II was a global conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality. Under Hitler's leadership, Germany conquered much of Europe. His armies, driven by a combination of military prowess and ruthless ideology, left a trail of devastation in their wake. The Nazi occupation of Europe was characterized by terror and oppression. Millions were killed or imprisoned in concentration camps, subjected to unimaginable horrors. Hitler's regime systematically targeted Jews, Roma, LGBTQ+ individuals, political opponents, and other groups deemed undesirable. The Holocaust, the systematic genocide of European Jews, stands as a chilling testament to the depths of Nazi depravity. Section 6. The Tide Turns. Setbacks and Defiance. Despite early victories, the tide of the war began to turn against Germany. The Battle of Britain, the German invasion of the Soviet Union, and the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor proved to be costly miscalculations. As the war dragged on, resistance to Nazi rule grew stronger. Allied forces, led by the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, fought back with increasing ferocity. On the home front, German citizens faced hardship and deprivation as Allied bombing raids intensified. Section 7. The Walls Close In, the Fall of the Third Reich. By 1945, the Third Reich was on the verge of collapse. Allied forces were closing in on Berlin from both east and west. Germany's military was exhausted, its resources depleted. As defeat became inevitable, Hitler's grip on reality seemed to loosen. He retreated to his underground bunker in Berlin, issuing increasingly desperate orders. On April 30, 1945, with Soviet troops just blocks away, Hitler committed suicide. Section 8. The Final Solution. Legacy of Genocide. The horrors of the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews, remain one of the darkest chapters in human history. This meticulously planned and executed act of genocide stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred and prejudice. Hitler's final solution was not a sudden act of barbarity. It was the culmination of years of escalating persecution, fueled by a toxic ideology that dehumanized and demonized an entire group of people. The legacy of the Holocaust continues to shape our understanding of human nature and the importance of combating intolerance in all its forms. Section 9. A World Rebuilt. Remembering the Lessons of the Past. The world that emerged from the ashes of World War II was forever changed. The war had not only altered the geopolitical landscape, but it also deeply impacted the collective psyche of humanity. Nations were left grappling with the immense loss and the daunting task of rebuilding. The conflict had claimed the lives of millions and left entire continents in ruins. Cities that once thrived with life and culture were reduced to rubble. The scars of war were visible everywhere, from the shattered buildings to the broken spirits of the people. Yet, amidst the devastation, there was also a determination to build a better future. Communities came together driven by a shared vision of peace and prosperity. The resilience of the human spirit shone through as people worked tirelessly to reconstruct their homes, their cities, and their lives. The legacy of Adolf Hitler is a complex and troubling one. His rise to power and the subsequent horrors of the Holocaust serve as a stark reminder of the dangers that can arise when hate and intolerance are allowed to flourish unchecked. He remains a symbol of the dangers of unchecked power, blind nationalism, and the destructive nature of hate. His actions led to one of the darkest chapters in human history, a period marked by unimaginable suffering and loss. It is essential to remember the lessons of the past and to remain vigilant against the forces of intolerance and extremism. By fostering a culture of understanding and acceptance, we can ensure that the mistakes of history are not repeated. By understanding the factors that led to the rise of Nazism, we can work to prevent such atrocities from happening again. Education and awareness are key in this endeavor. Through learning and reflection, we can build a world that values peace, tolerance, and unity above all else.